Can you see?
Yes, we can see Tumi Sarveshwareshwar Rajendra Kumar.
Yeah.
Will you lead us, Suvasini, Didi?
Okay. Shuk, Jai, Śaraṇāgati, Jai. I'll make you a co-host, so can okay. So maybe if somebody's joining, yeah. Okay. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Vrajendra Kumara Tomara Ichaya Vishwe Srijana Samhara. You are the Lord of all lords, O Vrajendra Kumar. In accordance with your will, creation and annihilation take place within the universe. Then we have a commentary of by Srila Guru Maharaj. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara, you are the Lord of all lords. The supreme position and identity of Krishna is described throughout the scriptures. Ete chamsa kala pumsaha Krishnastu bhagavan swayam Indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam. All these avatars or manifestations or partial manifestations of the Purusha avatar. Karnodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. But Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord Himself. In every age, these avatars protect the demon-ridden universe. Srijami tan niyuktoham haro harati tadvashaha vishwam purusha rupena paripati tri shakti drik. Srimad Bhagavatam. So translation, in accordance with the order of Sri Hari, I create the universe and Shiva annihilates it. Sri Hari, the controller of the three modes of material nature, maintains the universe with his form of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. I think Lord Brahma is speaking. Sorry, it's okay. Okay. The commentary continues. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. From Brahma Samhita. The embodiment of spiritual energy, consciousness, and ecstasy, Sri Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Lord of all lords. He has no origin. He is the origin of all, and he is the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. From Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself explains, I am the origin of everything. Everything emanates from me. Realizing this, the wise serve me fully imbued with divine love. Again from Bhagavad Gita. Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. O Arjuna, there is nothing superior to me. all that exists is strung upon me like jewels upon a thread. Okay, we go back to the verse 2 now. So, Tava icha mata Brahma karena srijana, Tava icha mata Vishnu karena palana. In accordance with your will, Brahma creates the universe. In accordance with your will, Vishnu maintains the universe. Tava icha mata Shiva karena samhara, Tava icha mate maya srije karagmara. In accordance with your will, Shiva annihilates the universe. In accordance with your will, Maya Devi creates her prison house. Tava icha mata jivera janama marana, samriddhi nipata dukkha sukha samghatana. In accordance with your will, the souls take birth and die. In accordance with your will, they experience prosperity and ruin, happiness and distress. Okay, commentary here for this verse. Samriddhi nipata, prosperity and ruin. The supreme authority of Krishna's will is described as follows. Apane ichaya jiva koti Vancha kare, Krishna icha hale tare, tabe paladhare. Miche maya bhaddha jiva asha pashe phire, tava icha vina kichu karite na pare. Bound by Maya, the souls vainly wander about. Unless it is your will, they are not able to do anything. Tumita rakshaka ara palaka amara, tomara charana vina asha nahi ara. You are my protector and maintainer. I aspire for nothing other than your feet. Nija balat cheshta prati varasa chadiya, tomara ichaya achi nirbhara kariya. Abandoning reliance on my own strength and endeavor, I depend upon your will. Right. According to, where does this come from? I don't know. Anyway, I'll read. According to their will, the souls desire innumerable ends, yet only if Krishna wills it are their desires fulfilled.
Yeah, it's not clear where that's coming from, is it?
Yeah, maybe from the previous commentary. I'm not sure. There's a continuation. Oh, probably yes. Yeah, here.
Translation of that verse.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so that was like, yeah.
But where is that? It doesn't. It sounds like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, doesn't it? But it doesn't say where it's from.
Yeah.
Jiva Koti Vansha Kore.
Yeah, it's a translation of that verse according to their will. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. The next last verse. Bhakti Vinod Ati Dina Akinchana Tomara Ichaya Tara Jivana Marana. Bhakti Vinod is completely surrendered and detached. He lives and dies in accordance with your will. I think there's another commentary for the verse, earlier verse here. Nija bhala cheshta nirbhara kariya, abandoning reliance upon my own strength and endeavor. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also sings about this in his Kalyana Kalpataru. Gopinath haraye menechi ami, amara aneka yatana hayila viphala, ekana barasatumi. O Gopinath, I have accepted defeat. All my endeavors were useless. I now rely upon you. It's the end of that verse.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful song. It's describing this like supreme confidence in the Lord's management. Management over everything. And our own helplessness, right? And that our wealth lies in embracing our position of dependence upon the Lord. Embracing that, having the faith that the Lord is in control, that the Lord is our friend also. The Lord is friendly to us. Everything is happening according to his will, and his will is friendly. Abandoning reliance on my own strength and endeavor, I depend upon your will. Very beautiful. This line, this Srila Sridhar Maharaj quotes, this is one of the famous Gopinath songs, and they're in our kirtan guides. And this verse, it touches me very much. This Amar Aneka Jatan Hoilo Bifal. Like all of my endeavors have been useless. Everything I've tried to achieve on my own strength, has failed. And Ekana Badasha to me. Now you are my only hope. You are my only hope, Lord. I depend fully upon you. That's the position that we want to get to, right? And we were just discussing this point with Gangalila just at the beginning of our meeting. And sometimes the Lord, he will put us through trouble to try to help bring us to that position. We will face challenges and come to that point of realizing that our only hope is, our only shelter is the Lord, right? And we cannot depend on ourselves. And the shining example of that given in the scriptures is that of Draupadi, right? And it's very interesting. I heard we heard from Devi Shish Prabhu that Srila Sridhar Maharaj commented that this is actually the highest moment in the Mahabharata, in the whole of the Mahabharata. Remember, Bhagavad Gita is in the Mahabharata. So this is even higher than any teaching in Bhagavad Gita, is this moment in Mahabharata when Draupadi throws her arms up in surrender to the Lord. And actually, interestingly, she refers to him as Gopinath. And you remember that Suvasni, and she refers to him in some capacity as the Lord of the Gopis. But so what is that moment, right? When she's being the wicked Dushasan, right? He's trying to disrobe her in a public assembly, the honorable princess Draupadi. This wicked Dushasan's trying to disrobe her and shame her publicly. And first she's calling out to her husbands and calling out to various seniors in the group, oh, help me, help me. And they're all sitting dumb, not doing anything. And she's also with her own hands, like trying to hold on to her sari and protect herself. And then finally she comes to a point of realizing she has no one. She can't rely on her own strength is useless. She can't depend on her so-called friends and family members. Everyone's abandoned her in this moment. So she can't depend on all of what she thought was her support in the world, her friends, her family, her seniors. She can't depend on her own strength also. Then she finally comes to that point of complete and utter helplessness and raises her arms and, oh, Krishna, now I can only rely on you, right? Only you can protect. You are my only hope, right? You are my only hope. But at that moment of full surrender, putting her hands up, her arms up, just giving up her own attempt and calling out for the Lord's protection. Then Krishna came. Then Krishna came and helped her. And we hear Draupadi asked Krishna later, oh, why didn't you help me earlier? And Krishna said, well, you didn't ask for my help. You were asking for everyone else but me. And then when you actually called out to me for help, then I came. So in this way, we can accommodate all the challenges that we face in our lives of practicing Krishna consciousness. You know, that ultimately we always have to try and see the bigger picture, right? Why are we actually here, and what is our real purpose? You know, I'll need to move closer to the Lord. I'll need to go deeper into Śaraṇāgati. That's the only reason for which we are here. That's our only lesson, our only success. Real success and failure is to be calculated according to how far we are going in the plane of Śaraṇāgati. Right? And so if some difficulty is helping us to realize our helplessness, then we embrace that, right? Then that is a very, very happy thing. You know? So we're very happy to hear this beautiful song, Śaraṇāgati. It's very nice, you know, in this song, like for it, you see, like there are different kind of like different layers of this mood of Śaraṇāgati that are described. Like in the beginning of the song, there's this supreme confidence in the power of the Lord. And there's this supreme confidence expressed about, could you just scroll up, Suvasindini? There's this supreme confidence described as to how the Lord is behind everything. According to Tava, it's very beautiful. And this repetition, it's very poetic. This Tava Icha Mata. Icha's desire, right? Will. So Tava, your, right? According to your desire, you know, the universe is running. According to your desire, the universe is created. According to your desire, you know, Lord Shiva is carrying out the annihilation of the universe. Vishnu, you know, he's doing his part, right? You are there's this supreme confidence, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, right? The supreme position of the Lord as the supreme controller, right? And, you know, this is another interesting point that comes out of this, right? How, like, actually, with the vision, like with the deeper vision, we will see that love is what pervades all of this Siddhanta, we could say. Like this verse, like Ishvara Parama Krishna. This is a famous first verse of Brahma Samhita, right? You know, glorifying Krishna as the supreme controller, the cause of all causes. From one angle, it's kind of like it's a bit of just a dry verse establishing the Siddhanta, right? Krishna's in control. Okay, we get it. But it's beautiful to see how that idea is being used in this expression of Śaraṇāgati. It's like expressing this mood of confidence, like, oh, my Lord, like nothing's outside of his power. My Lord is managing everything. Nothing's happening. Not a blade of grass is moving without his will. Whatever situation I'm facing, it's happening according to his will. And he has so much love for me, right? So, oh, my Lord is in control. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, you know, there's this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? How does it begin? That Bhayam Dvitiya Binivesha Tasyad, right? This famous verse describing how the souls turn away from Krishna, and how it all starts from you know, seeing a separate interest, right, other than one's own. Sorry, other than Krishna's. See, I got the disease deep, right? It's coming out. It all starts from having a desire separate from Krishna's desire. That's where the whole sad story begins. And yeah, I was jumping around so much I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so lack of guardian consciousness, right? So then this verse is saying, Bhayam, fear arises. Dvitiya binivesha tasyat. Fear, anxiety arises when we perceive a secondary interest, when we perceive something of value outside of Krishna. This is where the problem all begins. And so Srila Sridhar Maharaj phrases this very beautifully. as a lack of guardian consciousness. This is the root of all our troubles. I have to work it out for myself. No one else is going to take care of number one. I have to fight against the environment because the environment's against me. The environment's against me, so I always have to assert myself and establish myself. I always have to remind the environment, what about me? It's the what about me disease, right? So what is it? It's lack of guardian consciousness. That, oh no, I have a loving guardian, and my loving guardian is there. And my loving guardian is the overseer of the whole of the environment. And I'm also a part of his plan. It's not that I was forgotten about. Like, oh yeah, we forgot about you. Sorry, you didn't make the list. No, there are no accidents. We are always remembered. Everything's happening according to his purpose. And if we feel we've been forgotten about, that's also part of the plan. That was the script. There's also some reason for that. So it's very beautiful to see like how in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he starts out by describing this vision that, oh, my Lord, can you scroll up to the beginning, Beauty? Sarva Shvardeshwar, right? You are the Sarva Ishvara. Sarva is everything, right? Ishvara is Lord, Master. So you are the Ishvara of all Ishvaras. Sarva Ishvara, of all lords, of all masters, you are the master of them all. So what to speak of being in control? You're controlling those who are in control. So, and Tomar Ichai Vishwa, everything in this world is happening according to Tomar Ichai, according to your desire. So it's beautiful to see this song is starting out with this expression of supreme confidence in the Lord's management, his guardianship, right? It's not that, oh, Krishna wants to help me out, but he can't, right? Or there's this eternal battle going on between God and Satan, and sometimes Satan comes out on top, and what are you going to do? The Lord is always in control. The Lord is always in control. And then could we just scroll through towards the end of the song, Didi? And then he said, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he segues then into this idea that, oh, my Lord is fully in control. And what's my position? I'm fully helpless, right? And my need is to embrace that, to embrace my confidence in the Lord's protection, to embrace his guardianship over me, right? That is where my supreme wealth lies. He is the overseer, he is the guardian, and I am to be guarded. Right. He is the maintainer and I am to be maintained. Right. That is our relationship. That is our reciprocal relationship. So my wealth lies in embracing my position of dependence upon the Lord. And my wealth is in like coming to that position, realizing like Bhakti in this Gopinath song, like I've tried so much, I've been through so much, and I've humiliated myself so many times, and I finally realized, I can't make it on my own, and now finally I've come to this point of relying upon you, embracing your guardianship, embracing my dependence upon you. Very nice song. And we're still in the section Goptriche Varan, is that right, Didi?
Yes, yeah, I think this is the last song in the section.
Okay. Yeah, very beautifully this is expressing that feeling. Well, anyone else want to add any thoughts? And welcome Nadia Priya, who's also tuned in. Dhanyavad.
I got something.
Mhm.
Actually, I just want to share something about my recent shifts here. Is that I remember talking to you on the phone because I was like, like I felt so helpless. I felt also a little bit hopeless, and fear was there. And then I remember, Śaraṇāgati, you were saying like, well, do you have a plan B? And then I watched my cat walk across the room and I'm like, I think that's my plan B, which is obviously not a plan B to like watch the cat walk across the room, but that's all that was. So basically, like, no, I don't. And now I'm realizing, well, I can't. My plan B is to not have a plan B because I surrender. Because I need to let you be powerful in my life and not just keep coming up with more ideas of what I want and what I can and what I cannot, and etc. That's coming up.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Gangalila. Very nice. I don't have any plan B. Just whatever you want, Lord. That's a good one. Okay. Any other
I think
thoughts?
you're muted. She's talking still, but she's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, no, I remember looking at the cat and I was talking to the cat afterwards. I was like in that crazy making, but also I felt lighter because I had to laugh like, look, I made you my plan B. And the cat obviously is just being a cat. Somebody looked at me back like, I'm your plan B. Like, what are you talking about? And that was definitely one of those Krishna moments because I felt like my internal despair had such a buildup. It slammed and it's in that moment it dissolved, and I guess that's why I called you too. Like, but it came from somewhere else. Like it had to come from a higher power and not from. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Gangalila. Anyone else? Suvasini Didi, do you want to share something?
Not much. Whatever you said, that's so beautiful. I think that is it. Actually, everything's there. And maybe I just wanted to reiterate that point. Like, it's like we have a guardian, but it's like in Bhagavad Gita, that verse, which is always, very comforting, for me. This in the 5th chapter. It's like Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sukhritam Sarvabhutanam. Yeah, Nyatva Mam Shantim Ruchati. When you know these things, he's in control of everything. He's the enjoyer, but he's also friendly to you. He has, Sukhritam Sarvabhutanam. He's had so much well-wishes. He's your benefactor. If you know this, then, if you Nyatva Mam Shantim Ruchati, then you can be peaceful. You will be peaceful. You have that. You have a guardian who is your well-wisher. Guardian means a well-wisher who is like, he is our well-wisher. He has our interest in his heart. Is like Guru Maharaj also says, like, only when we forget that Krishna, our interest is also represented in Krishna. It is not like, that, it is, he says that, what is no taxation, that somewhere it's a no taxation without representation, but
Right.
your interests are all well represented in him. He has our interests also in our. So if you know these things, then like in Bhagavad Gita, if you Nyatva, if you know this, then you're peaceful, Shanti, you can be peaceful. It's like that. Yeah, this one.
Thank you, Didi. Beautiful, beautiful and perfect. I would like to hear something from Nadia Priya because Nadia is in Ukraine and we know Ukraine is at war right now. It's quite a heavy situation. I'd like to hear, what are your reflections on Śaraṇāgati living in this situation, in this environment?
Dandavat for devotees. Now I'm not in Ukraine, but when I was there, for me, from when it all started, every time I, was not like all people. I was calm. I don't know why, but I believe that that time I was in Kharkiv, in another place, and I just know that I need to be in Govinda land where we have the temple, and I know that there I will be safe. And when with devotees we come there, for me it was. I know that Krishna, he is always near us, and he always, it helps when you know that the God, the somewhere that something higher we have, and it's very helpful. And not only for me, it's also helpful for other people. And I know that many people have some trouble, or they are maybe not in a safe place, but even our other devotees who are in Ukraine, they happy because they know about Krishna, and they know that our family is always with them. And I wanted to say that when I was traveled in Ukraine, not so long time ago, for me that trip was, he, Krishna, he always be with me, because my trip was quiet, was light, and it was like, I remember that before that trip, I think, no, I speak for Krishna a little, and I just I just tell him that if you want that my trip will be good, it will be. What you say, what will you doing? I accept all what will be, and all was good. And always we have when we can to see deities, when we can to see our devotees, it's always helpful. And it's like when I went to Govinda land and to
Ashley,
come
could you
to our
stop the screen share for a moment? Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, please continue, Nadia.
Yeah, okay. And when I came to Govinda land in Ukraine temple, and I saw our deities, because in Ukraine we have Krishna, Radharani, Mahaprabhu, Girirajas, and Dwarakadisha, and also there was another deities from Kiev temple. It's also Mahaprabhu and Giriraj. And it was like big our family, more bigger. And for me, when I came and when I came to go them, to see them, and do something for them, it's very I feel very happy, and they are so beautiful, and I know that all deities and all the temple what we have in Ukraine or in other countries and cities where we have deities, and it's so wonderful, and and this is all from other from our teachers, because they give us so powerful and so sweet things, and Śaraṇāgati it's something very helpful, not only for me and to others. Sorry for my English. But I'm very happy when I can to meet different devotees like you, and it's always happy for me. And I remember Vishakha when we spoke with her, and no, for me, life with Krishna, it's with devotees, it's the best of my life, and I'm so happy when I can see all devotees. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you for sharing that, Nadia Priya. I think we're all very inspired and touched to hear of your experience and your reflections. It's really quite astonishing for me to see the spirit of the Ukrainian devotees, and in such a difficult circumstance, they maintain so much faith and positivity, and it's a very beautiful example for all of us. So thank you for sharing that, Nadia. Well, we still have some time. Should we go back to the text, or does anyone else want to share any reflections? Govindanandini, I'd love to hear from you. Govindanandini is so qualified.
Oh no, I'm so happy to hear from you in this subject. I prefer to just hear today. Really, really very happy for everything everybody said here helped me a lot. I'm so happy.
All right. Well, then should we go back to the text and also welcome Ramananda, and also Narayani joined us from California.
Dandava Vishaka Didi, sorry, I was having breakfast.
Dandava.
Dandava. Thank you so much. So nice to hear from you. I like the point Suhasini Didi made, that we have the guardians. If we forget, especially I forget, then I get worried. But if we know we have guardian, then we don't have to worry. Yeah. We need strong faith. Yeah. That's why we need association. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it made me so much feel better. Yes, Suhasini Didi.
Jai.
Yeah, thank you so much. Dandava. Hare.
So we've come to this next section of Śaraṇāgati, Vishramvatmika, confidence in the Lord's protection. Okay, well, maybe I'll give Suvasini a break. I'll read this. Ekana Bujinu Prabhu Tomar Charan Ashok Abhayam Rita. What a beautiful phrase. The nectar of fearlessness. Ashok Abhayam Rita. Actually, Ashok Abhay Amrita. Dandavat Narayani. It's referring to these three things that they're mentioned sometimes. Here, the translation is here. Ashok is sorrowlessness or like lack of lamentation. Aboy is fearlessness. And then this Amrita. Amrita has a double meaning, right? It can mean nectar, but literally it means immortality, right? Mrita, death. Amrita, deathlessness or immortality, right? And sometimes it's also translated as the nectar of immortality. So because these three things, sorrow or lamentation, fear, and mortality, they're like primary characteristics of this mundane plane, right? Of the mundane experience. That you're in lamentation because everything's always dying, everything's always ending, everything's always finishing. Everything's withering, everything's degrading in this world. So naturally, you'll be in a state of sorrow and lamentation, right? You're always fearful. Why? Because it's always you against the world, like what we were just talking about. The whole universe is conspiring against me. And so I'm always afraid. Any moment, anyone could come to disillusion me of the fact that I'm number one. Right? The environment does not agree with the fact that I'm the center of the universe. So I'm always afraid someone's coming to argue with my version of reality, right? And we always have our shield up. So we're always fearful. We're always anxious. And then mortality, naturally, everything dies, you know. So these are the three primary characteristics of this world. So what is the nature of what is divine? That there's no lamentation, you know, there's no fear. You're connecting with eternity. You're connecting with the loving will of our loving Lord, our loving guardian. There's no reason to be sorrowful. You're fearless because you have the confidence in the Lord's protection. You have confidence and faith in your loving guardian. So there's no need to be fearful. And that plane is immortal. Why is it immortal? Because it is in connection with the essential truth, with the eternal truth, not our temporary concocted truth, but what is the as is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Vastava Vastu, the substantial reality, the real reality, right? God's version. And his version is the version. Right? Our version is some temporary, imaginary thing, right? But that plane, it is the Lord's version. And so it must be eternal. It must be of an immortal nature. So Ashoka Abhayam Rita Purna Sarvakam Sakala Chariya Tua Charana Kamale Puriyachi Amina Tava Paratale Tava Para Padmana Dakshi Beamade Araraksha Kartanahi E Baba Samsade. O Lord, now I have understood that your feet are always replete with sorrowlessness, fearlessness, and immortality. And as I said, these you'll start to notice. This is why it's very nice this is why repetition is very helpful, because you start to notice themes and you start to notice things coming up again and again, and you start to draw the dots, and you start to see that our gurus are, you know, there's a particular discourse, right, that's going on, what's their perspective, and so you'll see that these are terms that are used in a number of Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs, actually. Like another one that's very prominent is the Atma Nivedan song, which is fairly well known and sung fairly often in our temples and our kirtan, right? That these terms are mentioned there also. I have relinquished everything at your lotus feet and fallen before them, O Lord. O Lord, your lotus feet will protect me. There is no other protector in this world of birth and death. Amitava Nitya Das, Janinu Ebar, Amar Palanbar, Ekana Tomar, Bodo Duk Payachi Swatantra Jivane, Sabaduka Dore Gelo Opada Varane. Now I have understood that I am your eternal servant. The responsibility of maintaining me is now yours. I experienced only great distress in my independent life. All my distress has gone away by embracing your feet. And in Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary, O Paravarane, by embracing your feet. In Prarthana, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, Ashoya loya bhaje, tare Krishna nahi tyaje, aro sab more akaram. Krishna never abandons one who takes shelter and serves him. All others die in vain. Ye para lagia rama tapasya korilo, ye para paya shiva, shivatva labilo, ye para lobya brahma kritarta hoilo, ye para narada muni hridaya dorilo, se aboy pada shirite doria, paramanandinachi pada gunagaya. Those feet which Lakshmi Devi performed austerities to attain, those feet from which Shiva attains the quality of Shivatva, auspiciousness, those feet by which Brahma became fulfilled, those feet which Narada Muni embraced in his heart, holding upon my head those very feet, which are the abode of fearlessness, I dance with great joy, chanting their glories. Wow, how beautiful. Samsara vipada hotte avashya udar, bhakati vinodo pada koribe tomar. Your feet will surely deliver Bhakti Vinod from the dangers of material existence. And we also have a commentary from one of the earlier verses. Shiva Shivatva Lobilo. Shiva attains the quality of Shivatva, auspiciousness. This is described by Sri Kapila Dev in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yat chodcha nishitta sadit pravado dakena tirtena murd yadi kritena shiva shivo bhut dhyatur mana shamala shaila nishishtaradram jayat chiram bhagavatas charanara vindam. Shiva became imbued with the quality of Shivatva, auspiciousness, by bearing upon his head the holy waters of the greatest of all rivers, the Ganges, whose origin is the footwash of the Supreme Lord. The sins in the heart of one who meditates on that Supreme Lord's lotus feet are destroyed just as a mountain is leveled by an onslaught of thunderbolts. The sins in the heart of one who meditates on that Supreme Lord's lotus feet are destroyed, just as a mountain is leveled by an onslaught of thunderbolts. My God, I gotta read that one more time. The sins in the heart of one who meditates on that Supreme Lord's lotus feet are destroyed, just as a mountain is leveled by an onslaught of thunderbolts. That's a very interesting analogy. Like, even though your sins may be as dense and hard and high and deep as a mountain, you know, the Lord's purifying power is like a thunderbolt that can come and break that. Thus, one should always meditate on the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Well, that's a nice example of confidence in the Lord's protection, I'd say. What power the Lord has and what care he has for us at the same time, right? We must have confidence in that. Wonderful. Does anyone want to share any reflections on this song or any of the topics we've discussed in our meeting today?
Just confirming, Vishaka, what did you say? It's an example of confidence in the Lord because you have faith and then the Lord comes and explodes your heart. Kind of like this, something like that. The scenes in my heart, of course, my heart is going to blow away also.
Well, now you reminded me of that verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vidyate Hridaya Grantis. Right?
Oh,
Remember that verse?
yeah, yeah,
Verse in Bhagavatam, right? That the
yeah.
knots in the heart will be pierced.
Pierced. Yeah, that's a piercing.
It's a piercing.
That's a piercing experience.
Gurudev liked that verse. Vidyate Hridaya Grantis, Chidyante Sarva Samshaya, Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Mayi Drishte Kilatmani. Right? The knots on the heart will be pierced, all doubts will be slashed, the bondage of karma will be cut, and one will feel the Lord's presence everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
That's expressing a lot of confidence also.
yeah.
That verse is spoken by the Lord, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been a very nice discussion with our group today. Any last comments from anyone? Suvasni, Didi, any reflections?
No. No, Didi, I don't have anything to add. It was beautiful. It was very nice. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I feel quite sad actually. I'm traveling on Monday to Japan, going to the Far East, and the time zone will be a little difficult.
Mm.
But I don't know. It would be nice if we could continue somehow, but I don't know if I think now it's like late night in Japan.
Right.
2:30
How
a.m.
long? How long are you gonna be in Japan, Vishaka Didi?
It's gonna be 6 weeks this time.
Oh, we're gonna suffer some separation here.
Well, I'm also gonna suffer some separation. Feel like things are just getting really juicy.
This was really good. What this part we were reading today. Thank you so much for all that.
Śaraṇāgati is just always so relevant. It's like Gurudev compared Śaraṇāgati to being able to swim across a river. Like you may not be so knowledgeable as to the pH of the water and the chemical composition of the water and the temperature and which way the wind is blowing and this and this and this, but you know how to swim across, right, to get to the other side. And so he said Śaraṇāgati is like that type of knowledge, like practical knowledge for making real progress in our spiritual life. So I love how we can all connect and hear, the enlightening expressions of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then also touch back and check into our own lives and how we're practicing and how Śaraṇāgati is playing out in our own lives, right? So I love how living and dynamic, this group and this discussion. It's not a dry study group. But it feels living. It feels like the book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is living and his teachings are playing out in our lives. So I'm very grateful to all of you for, being a part of my own process of Śaraṇāgati, engaging me in some service. And special thanks to Suvasni Didi for always hosting and sharing her own beautiful insights and Krishna consciousness and Śaraṇāgati. And thank you all for being vulnerable also, right? Everyone's sharing their experiences and sharing their struggles, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be a part of that. So
Grateful to you, Didi. We are, giving always giving so much enlightening, thoughts, your thoughts. It's very helpful for everyone, actually. So
thank you, Didi. Thank you all. And I think I forgot to mention Axel. Axel's also with us today. Happy to have you with us, Axel. Okay, well, I'll depart for now and we will reunite. We will reunite soon.
Thank you so much, Vishaka Didi. Thank you so much, everyone. It was nice. Done.
Thank you, and have a wonderful trip to Japan. Lots of new doors and success for your trip. Lots of prayers.
Yeah.
They need your blessings. See, after that earthquake, they need your blessing association.
Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri
Jai.
Haridev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. All the assembled devotees, dear seekers ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai,
Jai. Shri Harinam
Jai.
Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Bhakti
Jai.
Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol.
Vishaka. Vishaka Didi ki Jai.
Jai.
You all
today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Suhasini Didi. That was very nice point you made.
And thank you, Ramananda Prabhu.
Done.
And